On set, one of the beneficiaries of Governor Youngkin's tax cuts, Charlie Hurt, Washington Times opinion editor and Fox News contributor. He's already spending the money. I watched him on his cell phone. And Liz Peek, syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor. Good for Glenn Youngkin. I think he's going to do some good things. Charlie Hurt, I want to go back to this horrible Biden classified document story. In my view, I'm trying to raise this to 10, 20,000 feet high. Apart from a lot of the details, this is a political killer for Biden and the Biden Democrats. That is what I'm thinking.
Oh, I think without a doubt. And it might even be a bigger killer than we completely realize, because I'm still mystified about how all these documents, which have been lying around his garage under his Corvette for 6 years, apparently, or other places before they wound up sitting on top of the recycling bin in the back of his garage, they've been floating around for 6 years, and then suddenly they come to light. And it really does sort of make you wonder, well, who's behind all that? Why is all of this coming out right now? And it makes you wonder what in the absence of knowing, is somebody, I don't know.
Who are these lawyers? Just as a follow-up, who are these lawyers? I'm going to get to Liz in a second. We don't know who the lawyers were. They were not vetted for national security purposes. We don't know what they read. We don't know what was in these classified documents. Look, I've been all through this, having spent 3 years in the White House at a high level for all this stuff. Who are these people? And, what were they doing there?
And you have the White House and DOJ. For the longest time, they've been saying, well, we can't answer questions about Hunter Biden and his weird behavior, which is, I understand why they're doing that. I don't think it's right, but I understand why they're doing it. These are questions that they have to be answering. This goes to the heart of, these people work for the American people, and they're supposed to provide information, and they're doing everything they can to prevent any information.
Liz, I didn't want you to feel neglected. I just had a quick follow-through. But in all seriousness, Joe Biden, I mean, you can go back to the 60 Minutes interview, loves to have self-righteous indignation, and how could Donald Trump have done this, and I'm an honest guy. That's gone now.
Yeah.
And that's got to be very important. And I actually, at the top of the show, tied it to the fiscal revolution that I think is coming in the Republican House.
Well, I hope you're right about that. I think the damage done here to Biden is profound, because his entire brand is that he's a very nice, decent man who's also very honest. That when he took office, that was going to be the big change, that we had transparency. We had an honest president as compared to Donald Trump. And I think this is going to begin to chip away. How people think he's honest with the background of plagiarism and all the lies he's told, I cannot imagine. But that is kind of his brand. And I think now we're going to see basically what happened to him and what happened to Hillary Clinton. I mean, I went back and looked at really what transpired with Hillary Clinton. She had tens of thousands of emails. She had private servers she wasn't allowed to use. All this stuff that the left really poo-pooed. But the answer is she broke laws probably, and then she was, yes, exonerated. I think probably Biden is not going to be indicted or anything like that. But what happened is when she stepped up to the convention to be the nominee, 68% of the country thought she was dishonest and untrustworthy. It never got better. I mean, I think that is what happens. You cannot have this kind of scandal basically tar your reputation. It's extremely, extremely hard to come back from that.
Charlie, how can you indict Trump and not indict Biden?
Oh,
and we know neither's going to be indicted, I assume. Or am I assuming incorrectly? In other words, to me, Trump's long, dark night on this subject is over the minute these revelations came out. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my take.
No, I think you're right about that. And who knows what is it? I mean, we've been through the craziest 4 or 5 years of politics in modern times, so who knows what's going to happen. But I do think that it is kind of astonishing. And, of course, the DOJ, they knew about these documents before the campaign, before the election, while Joe Biden was, during the campaigning, talking about the documents with Trump.
How stupid.
It's
That's just moronic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. It really does go to the heart of that. I think it's a false sort of
totally
image that
false.
he's. Yeah.
But also, Merrick Garland appointed a special counsel to look into Trump's document problems, knowing that Joe Biden has bad secret documents in his office. I mean, it's pretty extraordinary. By the way, one other thing, this also leads to very reasonable investigation of Joe Biden and Hunter Biden's connections to China, because now we have this Penn Center, which has been funded by Chinese money.
This is a shady operation.
Definitely, but this opens the door to that, right?
Shady operation.
Yeah.
You got to celebrate the end of the debt limit ceiling. It's coming out. This is another segment. I can't. Go there. I just thought I'd tease you for it. We'll talk about it on the radio this morning.
Harsh.
The debt ceiling is over. By the way, it's going to get the Republican budget cuts through this whole scandal too. Anyway, Charlie Hurt and Liz Peek and Joe Biden, you got yourself some serious problems.